Namaskar. Welcome to Conversations with Rakesh. Today's question. Rakesh, you have mentioned books about communication in many of your online lectures, but I never have found a single video where you have put it together. Can you please recommend 5 good books on how to speak effectively and communicate better? Your wish is my command, my favorite topic communication, how to speak. And I have lots of book recommendations for you. This subject is a huge subject, and my selection of books is also related to this vast ocean. So there are some good suggestions, and these suggestions are nothing but pointers. So you have to keep going in that direction to learn more, then hop from island to island so that you connect the dots. And in that process, you will learn how to speak effectively. Please remember, this subject is not just about speaking effectively. It's also about thinking. It's also about understanding who's my audience. How do I structure my ideas and words together? Then that's where languages also come in. And then that's where sometimes we have to speak in a meeting room or standing up and speaking. So that's oratory on one side and conversations on one side, which is job interviews. Then there's writing, then there's persuasion, then there is collaboration where we come together like in a meeting or a conflict or a negotiation. So it's a huge ocean. So anyway, your question is good books on speaking effectively, 5 good books on speaking effectively, and I'm going to give you more than 5, couple of bonus ones as well. So let me take you through my favorite books on speaking effectively, some of my favorite books on speaking effectively and communicating effectively one by one, so that you can have a good idea about the breadth of this topic. Now, this book is not really a speaking effectively book, but I think it has a very good research on how we do not think about the other person. And this book is Talking to Strangers, Malcolm Gladwell. We human beings are irrational. That part we know. We make bad decisions. Gladwell has written few other books on that. One of them is Blink, where we make decisions, connects to various other phenomena. I've spoken about Daniel Kahneman's behavioral sciences as well. This book actually has some fantastic chapters on common problems we face because of communication and not understanding each other. The tone of our words, the inability to understand each other and how we judge each other, how we trust people more than what we should, and how it changes the way we think and speak and communicate and act. And it's a fantastic book. If you go through the book, you'll find so many pathways to understand audiences, so many pathways to look at social science theories that connect with communication, especially interpersonal communication and conversations that we have. So start with this book to get a very broad idea of human thinking, how it impacts the way we speak, understand, connect, and take decisions. And you'll be horrified that sometimes our way of thinking and what we should speak and how we should connect with people should change drastically by the amount of bad decisions we make. And this subject is right in the heart of all of it. And Gladwell has done a spectacular job of bringing it out in this great book. It is lots of amazing stories, shocking stories that connect with communication and how we have made bad communications to make bad decisions. So that's book number one. Book number two, this is also a great TED talk. This is Susan Cain. It's called Quiet, the Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. And I bring this book because your question is connected to how do I talk better? And many of us have a problem that we feel that my energies come from staying quiet and I'm happier staying to myself. So this book demystifies all of that and it connects in introversion, extroversion very interestingly. But if you look at Susan Cain's TED talk, she talks about how she also practiced public speaking. So you can be an introvert and still speak. It requires practice. And I want you to disconnect these concepts and read this book because she has actually talked about uh, how to understand introverts better. and it might help you because it may also give you a peek into your own personality. By the way, just on the record, there is no correlation between introversion, extroversion, and communication. We have to communicate. Just because I'm an introvert, I'm not going to stop talking. I mean, I have to pitch to my investor and I have to get money. I have to sell. I have to influence. I have to inspire people. I could be an introvert. That's a different discussion. But I think this book talks about how introverts are misunderstood and what the world needs to do to adopt them better. And it might give you an insight about your own behaviors and then use that to communicate very well. So read this book, Susan Cain, Quiet. Third, again, a very good TED Talk, Presence. Amy Cuddy, her TED Talk was very controversial, very popular also. She has this power pose that many of us are very scared in talking in front of people. So she says, do a power pose. It fools your mind that you are successful. And when you feel you're successful, you do better. Your presence is better. You are able to accomplish that task better. It could be a public speaking speech. And it was a revolutionary TED talk that I loved and I connect it and I refer it to all my students. But her research was criticized by the Puritans and academicians and all those people that uh, are anyway there. I think it's a good book and talks a lot about how you can change your presence by simple techniques and why is it important for you to tune your brain and your confidence to tell the world what you want to do. And it's a again a lot of research, a lot of good stories might give you some very good insights about your own behavior. Fourth book, set of many books written by Dale Carnegie. This gentleman wrote a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Here it is, in 1937. And then wrote many more books. There's one more called How to Develop Self Confidence and Influence People by Public Speaking. Warren Buffett swears by him. And Warren Buffett has told in some video that all you need is maybe a course by Dale Carnegie and little bit of financial understanding and common sense, and you're all done. While I don't believe in Warren Buffett's that sentence, but I do believe that there is a merit in learning how to speak in front of public. So this book is a great book or set of books by Dale Carnegie. It's written in a very nice way. 1937, it's relevant even till now. And he takes a long view of communication, not just speaking in front of public, speaking in a group, speaking in a friend area, professional area. How do you behave? How do you listen? And he's done a good job of that. And I think you must read it just for the sheer simplicity of this topic, the choice of words and relevance to our lives. So pick up this tome for your benefit. Now, the fifth book is the simple book called Communication Book, 44 Ideas for Better Conversations Every Day. Nice book, simple, has some graphics and simple terms, and you might pick up tips. What you sometimes need is tips, and you don't need to read the whole theory. A simple tip that do this can help you communicate better, or a simple tip that change the way you do this can also help you. And this subject is infinite. There is no right and wrong in this subject. So tips can help you do what is relevant for you. And these simple books are helpful beyond a point. You know, these books don't add much value than what you already know, but they strengthen your thought processes a little bit. And there's a lot of research that might help you. And the last two bonus books are my own book, Boasting Alert. I wrote these books. One is What to Say When to Shut Up. Nice book because I wrote it. But I also loved writing it, and thanks to my editors at Penguin Random House who published it. And this one is a book out of my PhD. It's not available to buy, but it's called Public Speaking Kaleidoscope. And I have put the literature review of oratory in this book and a nice framework. But this book is available. You can pick it up. The other books are also available. So let me summarize all the books. Book 1, Talking to Strangers. Book 2, Quiet. Book 3, Presence. Book 4, a tome by Dale Carnegie, set of 5 books. You can pick any one. I think this one is good, which is How to Develop Self Confidence and Influence by Public Speaking. That responds to your question. Book 5, The Communication Book, 44 Ideas for Better Conversations Every Day. And bonus, my book, What to Say When to Shut Up, that is available. And I hope you read it. I hope it changes your life. Do write to me if it has. Tell me your ways of learning, which I can hopefully write another book someday with your help. So, on that note, invest in reading, but please remember, don't depend on just reading communication books. Raise your hand in meeting rooms, ask questions in any forum you're part of. If you get an opportunity to speak up, just go run, grab it. That's the only way you can learn to communicate effectively. Stay safe.